Hello, esteemed viewers. Welcome to PPTV Online Makudi. I am Yamkimedubi Josephine. Viewers, today I'm in the house with Honorable Anthony Ada. With time, you get to know why we are on the show today. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So, can you tell us about yourself? I know viewers will be keen to know who you are.
Like you said, I'm Honorable Anthony Ada. I'm from Mokpoko Local Government, Benue South Senatorial District.
All right. In 2018, in this month, January, Benue was thrown in a state of mourning as a result of mass killings in the state, which was due to anti-open grazing law. So can you tell us about anti-open grazing law and if there was need for this law at the moment?
Yes, we'll begin with the issue of 1st of January 2018, when the state was thrown into pandemonium as a lot of persons were killed. It's unprecedented. In the history of Benue State, there has been never a day where we have recorded death to that number of persons in a day. It was the biggest blow to Benue and to Nigeria at large. I don't think the killing has anything to do with anti-grazing, because the anti-grazing law prohibits open grazing to herders, to farmers, to whoever owns cattle. But the nature of killing that took place in Benue on the 1st of January 2018 is terrorism.
Okay.
Is banditry. Are you getting me?
Yes.
I don't think it has anything to do with the anti-grazing law.
Okay.
The anti-grazing law itself is not a bad law. The problem with it in our state is the implementation. You have a sector that is called what's it called? Anti-grazing livestock guard, you know, and other pockets of watchmen for anti-grazing for people who are grazing illegally. But we have not seen any positive thing from any of that sector, because as I speak to you, in this very state, we have people who have cattle who are roaming the streets. You understand?
Yes.
Their cattle are roaming the street. So how can you bring a law and not implement it properly? Because there are persons you cannot even arrest. There are persons you can't talk to. They are owners of cattle. They are cow owners. You go and gather some cows, take them to wherever you take them to, and then you get a phone call that those cows belong to. It ends there. So you see, just like every other law, the commoner suffers it the more. The commoner suffers it the more. Because take for example, if you have goats in your compound that you rear, the moment they cross over to the next side of the lane, they get picked up, taken to a certain office where you have to go there and bail your goat. While the real law, the anti-grazing law, does not affect the real people who are destroying our soil. I mean the Fulanis.
Yes.
So the common man in the state is suffering more than the person that the law was enacted for or against.
Yes.
That is the point.
Okay.
So implementation is the problem. The law is the most wonderful law that has ever been passed in the state, because there is no land in Benue to be given to anybody. It all belongs to Benue people. It's not even enough for us. But we don't want to encroach into somebody's land, and then people want us to sell the little that we have. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so considering the mass killings, that of 1st January 2018 and that of the priests and parishioners, will you still say this law is positive to Benue?
The law, the anti-open grazing law, is very positive. The implementation is zero.
All right, so it means it's positive.
Yes, it is a positive one.
Okay.
Because if the appropriate thing is done, I tell you, we won't have the issue of this roaming about of. If you go along Naka Road now,
Yes.
you will see more than 1,000 cows lined up, strolling majestically as if they are human beings.
Yes.
If you go around North Bank too, if you go around Tewasi Agbadu, you will see them roaming up and down. Are you getting me? So the law is not working. The law is not working as it stands. But it's a very wonderful law.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. There was a confusion in the state as this killings extended to the church.
Oh.
Some were like this is political,
Oh.
but on seeing it reaching the church, some were like this is religious. Some were like this is ethnic. So, you as a person, what do you have to say about this?
It's a very, very sad situation. Liking the killing of those priests to religious or political, whatever, it's not for me to say. Because I don't know the reasons why they were killed. I don't know the source from where they were killed. But one thing is certain. Whoever kills a priest pays times 10. How can you kill a man of God? You don't even kill somebody. Talk more of someone who is God's own ordained priest.
When even the Bible says, touch not
not
my anointed.
So, if you know people who kill people, they themselves are dead already. It's just like when you sleep with somebody's wife. You are already a dead man walking. It is written. So if you kill, be rest assured that you will be killed.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was a nice reply. So, as we speak, considering what is still happening in the States, you just made mention of goats roaming about.
Yes, I'm being arrested.
Yes.
Goats belonging to the poor, not the rich people who owns cattle.
Yes,
Good.
yes. Okay, and since will you still say this law is in existence, or and has its aim been achieved?
No, the aim has not been achieved. The law is in existence, but the aim has not been achieved. If the aim has been achieved, you won't see these cows patrolling up and down in Makurdi, the metropolis, majestically as if they are human beings.
All right. Okay. So, you are one of those aspiring for the seat of governorship in the state. So I know even our viewers out there would like to know your intentions for the people of Benue State.
Well, you have like rightly said, it is my aspiration, even though consultations are still ongoing. I'm permutating, meeting with some stakeholders and discussing about it. But yes, what would I do differently? You see, if you take a look at our state right now, you will know that the state has gone backwards. Seriously backwards. In short, I want to believe that Benue right now is the most backward state in Nigeria. We can't have it like that. There are a lot of sectors that are not working. I don't need to mention them, you know them. Our intention is to come and correct the abnormalities that are eating deep into the system. And we have the tenacity, we have the energy, we have what it takes to change the dynamics.
Okay. I know on hearing that hearing that you're coming for governorship and you intend to be the next governor of Benue State. If given the opportunity, I know that artists out there watching us will be rejoicing already. Yes. So what is your intention for entertainment industry as an entertainer and artist?
That's a wonderful one. You got me there because I'm also an artist. I don't think you know that. As an artist, if I find my way into the governorship position, you will see that I will continue from where I stopped as the chairman of PMAN in the state I was in. When I came back from Lagos and the elections were conducted and Fidel Shamel handed over to me because he was the outgoing while I was the incoming, I revamped the system. I came, I met a lot of abnormalities because there was a coup against his government. So when I came back, I started afresh, built PMAN afresh, gave sense of belongings to artists in the state and then opened my wings to everybody. I was also the one that championed the cause that brokered peace between the artists and the government. Because there was a time when the artists were being looked down upon by the government. That was some couple of years ago, not this dispensation though. Okay. So when I brokered the peace, I brought them together, and through the instrumentality of some persons, PMAN became straight in the state. I traveled with some, you know, make sure that the artist welfare was beautiful and standard, unlike what they have today. They tear at each other's neck publicly because of sharing formula, because there's no proper coordination and leadership. And I promise that if given the opportunity, other states will envy the secretariat of PMAN in the state.
Okay, and then the welfare of artists in the state will also be promoted.
If you don't have a secretariat, how do you have a sharing formula? How do you think about their welfare? But if you have a secretariat with a working system, yes, you know that every artist demands so according to your input. Okay. So to start with, the PMAN needs a secretariat, an ultra-modern secretariat, because this state is the apart from being the food basket of the nation, is also the basket of the nation on the artist pattern.
I know the artists out there are already rejoicing and it will be their desire to see you there soon. Still on the issue of your aspirations, what is your take concerning the issue of zoning in the state?
The issue of zoning. Yes. You see, the issue of zoning, even as I speak to you, you said your name is Nyankume. That means you're a thief. That means you understand why there is this appealing, this agitation, this negotiation, and this begging from the Zone C angle. The issue of Yanangbian, as rightly put by your people, if I understand thief to that extent, is to eat and give your brother to eat.
Yes.
But this Zone A and Zone B, Zone A and Zone B, Zone A and Zone B eating has become too much. As if Zone C is not part of the Benue State. Okay. You know, so we are saying that since the inception of democracy, from the era of Aperaku down to the current governor, both the Zone A and the Zone B people have been covered on and off and on and off, that we are appealing to them to consider Zone C. And then in that consideration, they should also have it in mind that the Zone C man is not intending to come and become a supreme being or overbearing or a lord kind of governor. No. In the state assembly, you definitely have more members than the Zone C people. I don't know whether you understand. Yeah. So the Zone C governor will be on his toe 247 to make sure he delivers. Because if he is not performing well, the assembly will throw him out. And I know that the Zone A and Zone B elders will be waiting, will be watching. As soon as the governor from Zone C steps out of town, they will have a meeting in Boko, precisely, and they remove him. But let them give us a chance. That's all we are saying.
Okay. Yeah. You made mention of the thief people not considering the issue of Yanangbian.
As regards the normal people, yes, on C. Thank you, precisely.
I think politics is a game of number.
Yes.
So, what do you have to say about this? Are they being deliberate, or it's the issue of number that is affecting Zone C?
It is not the issue of number. Actually, it's a numerical game. The politics, it's a game of numerics, like you said.
Yes.
But it is not the number that is stopping the Zone C man from becoming governor.
Okay.
In all the people who want zoning to be appropriate, all you have to do is to say this turn is the turn of Zone C. So when they field a Zone C candidate, the numbers don't matter anymore. I don't know whether you understand.
Yes.
And because all the political parties will not agree to that, I don't know whether you understand. The major political parties, if they can synergize and say, okay, look, now that we have agreed that let's do this like this way, bring out your candidates who will not feel that can. If I want to zone anything to your place now, I can't zone it to your place and still bring another of your brother from outside and say, come and contest against you. No. Do you understand?
Yes.
If it's about numbers, no Idoma man will ever be governor. Because the votes that they will bring, the way they used to bring votes from Kano, the votes they will bring from Zone A, from Sankara axis, from Konshisha Jeshira axis, they will just bring these votes and then what do you have to do? They have 14 local governments, we have 9. That is why it is appropriate to negotiate, it is appropriate to appeal, it is appropriate to beg, it is appropriate to consult, so as to have votes from the either zones A or B, then add it to yours. Even at that, not everybody in Zone C will vote for a Zone C candidate. Do you know that?
Yes.
So it's not an easy game, but it's still humans that play it. So we are hoping that our three brothers will consider that statement that was formed by them, Yanambia or You understand? Thank you very much.
Viewers, you can agree with me that it's been fun having Honorable Anthony Ada in the house. Of course, he's appealing to the thief people to consider the adage that goes that Yana and Bang, considering the issue of the Zone C people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for staying with us, viewers. It's still your favorite presenter, Nyamkimedubi Josephine, and I've been in the studio here with Honorable Anthony Ada. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe to BPTV Online Makudi. Thanks for watching.